Hey there, it's Renessa Boley Layne, founder of Creating Your Perfect Work. So, I had a conversation at a kid's birthday party that illustrated so powerfully why so many women struggle to discover, design, and get highly paid doing work they love. And I made the same mistake in my past. So I got zero judgment. It's like zero judgment. My nose is not clean on this issue. But I learned from it and I've had so much pain from it that I now have a conviction about it and I don't want it to happen to you. Right. So, long story short, I was congratulating my friend on buying a new house, right? And I expected him, to be gushing about the home and all, things that people do when they get a new crib. Instead, though, he was kind of sheepish, it was almost as if he was embarrassed to be talking about buying the house. And so it turns out that he bought the house in a hurry, right? So he had sold his previous property, and unbeknownst to him, he had to find a new property within 45 days to avoid the capital gains taxes on the sale of the previous house, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it because that's not the point. The point is what he said about the sale. And what he said about the sale is a core teaching point for you if you want to get highly paid in a career business that you love. So here's what he said. He was like, Renessa, 45 days goes fast. And he was like, and I hadn't done the work in advance to figure out what I wanted. I didn't know what neighborhood I wanted to be in. I didn't even know what was out there. And so when we were getting down to the wire on that 45-day timeline, he's like, I just put an offer out to the seller that the seller couldn't refuse on a house that I didn't even really like, just because I knew that I could close on that house within that time frame. And he's like, so for real, this is nowhere near my forever home. In fact, he's actually living with his parents currently because there's so many repairs that need to be done on that house. Why does this matter to you? It matters because so many women are itching. Like they are bored, they're burned out, they're unfulfilled. They know that something needs to change. They don't know if that change is this radical career shift. They don't know if this is the time to go and start that business. Let me fix my collar. They don't know if it's time to start that business. They don't know if it's some mission or movement that they want to champion. They may not know how to do it. They don't know if it's the right time. There's all these things that they don't know. All they do know is that they are not happy where they at and that something needs to shift. But the biggest mistake that they make is that they don't start to do the work now to figure it out when the pressure is off. Like when you have a job or you have a career or you have something that's sustaining you, the pressure is kind of off, right? But they don't make it a priority. They don't lay the foundations for support. They don't use that time to really start to figure things out. They don't invest and make deposits into their personal and professional networks so that then they can reach out later and make withdrawals from those deposits. And then guess what? Life happens, wham. Like that could be you get laid off when you weren't expecting it, or that the environment becomes so toxic that they need to make a move, or that they're so bored or so burned out or so unfulfilled that it begins to take its toll physically, mentally, emotionally, and otherwise, such that the price to stay put is far too great and they have to leave, right? So now they're forced to make a move. They're forced to make a move and they're not prepared. I see it happen all the time. And when women come to me, there's usually two types of women. There are women who come to me and they have the time, they have the space, they have the focus to figure out what's next for them. They have the time, space, and focus to figure out what's going to be the strategic pathway forward. They have the ability to figure out how to position themselves so that they get paid a premium. There's a flow, there's an ease, there is an authenticity, there's a lot of joy, to that process. They can have the conversations, they can test their ideas, they can make pivots, right? They're not thirsty. They're not chasing opportunities. There's no fear of missing out. There isn't this sense that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be left behind and this and that and the other. And then there's the second camp of women, right? They are so stressed out. They're so anxious. They are under so much pressure. They are so thirsty. They're chasing opportunities. They're afraid to get left behind. All of that because they didn't prepare. They didn't prepare before they felt forced to move. They didn't prepare before. It's like, oh my gosh, I need a job in 3 months. Oh my gosh, I need a job in 6 weeks. They didn't prepare for that. They didn't know what they wanted to be when they grew up at 42. They didn't figure out the right sequence, all that kind of stuff. I don't want that to be you, right? That's why this week I'm making myself available to teach you how to discover, design, and get highly paid doing work that you love so that you can prepare. You can prepare now to make the decisions that you might have to make later. You can figure out and start to know what you don't know, right? You can start to figure out, man, okay, this is simple. This is doable. I can, you give yourself the bandwidth to really start to create work that you love. So if you or somebody that you know is in that boat, you're bored, you're burned out, you're unfulfilled, you know that there's some career, business, mission, something out there that you know you were born to do, even if you don't know what it is, then join me this week as I walk you through that, as I answer your questions, as I talk kind of belly to belly with you about what's real and what's not and what's possible and what the options are that are out there. So if that's you, then there's information somewhere. Either it's in down below if I posted this video, or it's in the email that you got this from. Somewhere you'll see the information. Yes, baby. Yes, you can watch Flippy. Do you want to come say hi first? No, you don't want to say hi? Okay. You can watch Paw Patrol. Please close the door. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye. That is my life. And so I'd love to join you this Thursday as we talk about how to discover, design, and get highly paid doing work that you love. All right. Talk to you next time. Bye.